Yo, what is up, everybody? It is finally May. Drop that beat. Yo, what's up?
Hey.
Kenny,
It's May.
It's May.
It's May. I almost made a post last night.
The post?
The post.
Yes.
You know,
I know the one.
I was gonna post it and I just fell asleep. And I woke
And then
up.
you woke up and it was
And I
May.
woke up really regretting it. I was like, God, that was only one chance.
Now you have to wait a whole year.
Now I have the May the 4th be with you, you know.
Right.
I have that.
Instead of the Timberlake? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, instead of Timberlake. Or
Classic.
or Lakers in 5.
No, Kenny,
No.
come on. We didn't have to go there for this episode.
All right.
He did it anyway. He did it anyway.
Yeah. Say your feelings. This is your press con.
It's an embarrassing loss for the. Well, I don't play for the team, so.
Right. I mean,
But-
you partly own.
You
them.
almost said us.
You own them. You part.
I know.
Yeah, you're part owner.
Part owner. For this glorious franchise to go down like this, it's embarrassing. No center, no defense. I mean, this is what happens.
Yeah.
So now, all my Lakers stuff will have to sit for next year.
Well, business aside, you can be a little bit less embarrassed. Like one person less embarrassed because I didn't even know about this. So.
Okay.
I only pay attention to headlines, so mind you. But on playoffs, you know, I kind of like watch the highlights. But yeah, Los Angeles Lakers got knocked out of the first round in playoffs. By a really
The
good
first
team.
round?
Yeah, first round.
First
Yeah.
round.
Is embarrassed.
By a really good team though. Up and coming rising star. Probably one of the hottest shoes right now by Anthony Edwards.
Oh, yeah.
AE1s.
Adidas
so
is holding on to those for dear life.
I know, that's all they have. That's
all they have right now.
That's all Adidas have going. So they're probably paying him extra just to win games. To just like, hey, the more you win, the more we sell shoes.
And if they're not, they should be.
It's a little incentive.
But yeah, so quick sports roundup there. Golden State still trying to get past round 1. So
Yeah. I mean, the playoffs, NBA, there's so many fouls and commercial breaks, and
they make more money. They make more money.
It's kind of a
Oh, I
buzzkill,
bet they
though.
do.
Yeah, it is because it's
Like,
so long.
you can't, your momentum is just,
No, yeah, 100%. That's why I can't stand watching the full game. It's like highlights, all automatic highlights. But that's cool. Cleveland number 1.
Oh yeah,
Cleveland's number
really good.
1, and Oklahoma number 1. So I've never heard that in the last 10 years, I guess.
Well, in the jersey side of things, that I
Would it
try
be
to sell
good
the
for you?
most, I guess, for eBay. Well, I really don't have a lot of Cleveland stuff, but one of the interesting things is that like MLB does like City Connect jerseys every year, so they
They're,
have
like,
like a Bulls
rare.
White Sox mashup one.
Oh,
that
they're
people-
mixed. Okay.
Yeah, people really like right now. And it's kind of funny, though. So, like, the first time for next year, or for this season for NFL, they're doing, like, a rival jersey or something. So, like,
Be like
only 8 teams get it. And then, like...
so it's like Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, something like that.
Yeah, so when they play a rival in the division, they have to wear this certain jersey. So, it's like... They do all these certain things to make extra
make more
money
jersey.
Yeah. And it's just another money making thing that it's kind of crazy on how we already know how wasteful things are in general with like different clothing and stuff, but for the jersey stuff, it's just another money making little ploy that they do.
I have a question about Jersey people. So, like, my family, a lot of sports fans in my family, some of them own, like, nice jerseys, but it's not like they wear jerseys every day.
Right.
But if you're, like, really diehard fan, do you think there's people that just have an entire wardrobe of jerseys and they just wear a jersey every day?
Oh, yeah, I know somebody.
Yeah, there's some diehard
it's
collectors
right next
that-
to you.
That is not a jersey, okay? I see
No,
him not
he's
wearing
a
jersey.
closet. You have a closet full of jerseys.
Right, but
that
you
he
don't like
keeps.
wear one ever. They're like special. Like you wear them. Maybe
Do you
for
wear
the
them, Glenn? He
games.
wears them.
I don't know.
He wears
I do
them.
wear them, but there's some hardcore collectors out there that do have like a full
Yeah, like a
closet
full
of them.
outfit too, right?
Yeah.
Everything, the whole, and it's like very correct, right? Like the hat,
Gotta be
the hat-
perfect.
like period correct. The hat had to be that era
Oh
or
my
that year, you know. So
Yeah,
No,
so I mean
that-
the collectors they know what they want, but
Yeah.
when it comes to I don't know everyday wardrobe, I don't know. It's just kind of like
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking. Like with all these like different mashups and like like one-off kind of special edition jerseys. Like how many can somebody tolerate?
I know.
Like
And they're expensive too. I
Yeah.
mean, if you just go flat out to Fanatics, I mean,
so what?
you're
180?
definitely spending over 100 no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's just the minimum for like the basic screen print ones are like 100 to 130.
Yeah, and
You know?
then they get rid of the player, then it's
I know.
irrelevant.
And then they just go down on clearance and so on. So it's
and so on.
And we
It's
buy them,
kinda
and we try
crazy.
to flip them.
yeah.
So Anna, what have you been up to? Obviously, me and Glenn's been up to sports, catching up.
Not sports.
Not sports.
The very broad category of not sports. No, but actually, I do have something to report, and this is what I've been doing lately, so it is answering your question. But if you guys recall, in April, my goal was to get every single unlisted thing listed. I was not yet willing to say I had a death pile. I had a pile, but it hadn't been around for that long. But it was kind of like
It's
deferred.
not dead yet. It wasn't dead yet.
No, it hadn't died fully. Maybe on hospice. But anyway, it was, auction stuff that I had kind of just bought over time over the last couple of months and kind of put all of that aside to do all of it at once. And so I was like, I'm going to do this, by the end of April, because I felt like for whatever reason, arbitrarily, if it crossed over into May with me, it would die. And then it would become a death pile. It's been there too long. So
It may have died.
it may have died. Correct. I see what you did there. Appreciate it. But I did it. And what I did was 132 totally one-off items. Like, some of it was clothing, some of it was housewares, some of it was, one of them was an umbrella, like so many random things. But I did all the photos in one day and did some of the, uploaded some of them to drafts. And then the next day got all of the rest drafted and got all of them listed. So in 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, I knocked it completely out. And I was so happy that I got it done, because with a whole bunch of different kinds of items, sometimes it's really hard to really predict how long it's going to take. Like some things require more than others. Switching to different types of things is not as fast as doing a bunch of the same kind of thing at once. So I still streamlined it as much as I could, but I was just really honestly relieved to get that knocked out. And a couple things immediately sold, which is always great too. But I was not going to do any more auction sourcing or really source anything else. It's also raging yard sale season here finally. And I was like, if I don't get this done before May,
You're going to have more pile.
Yeah, and I was like, I am not going to source anything else till I get this done. So now I get to go frolic amongst the citywide yard sale this weekend, and I get to bid on a really awesome auction that I'd had my eye on already. So that was just really rewarding. And I noticed because I usually don't keep a pile of stuff around, it was kind of bothering me. And I was like, oh man. And the weather was super nice. So I was like, I've been procrastinating doing this. And I was on a walk with my bestie, who's one of my neighbors too. And she's like, Anna, you're procrastinating. Just plan to procrastinate. Just plan to do it the last 2 days of the month. And then you don't have to stress about it in the meantime. Just know that you're going to do it then. And I'm like, oh yeah, that is a really smart thing to do.
You're a scheduled procrastinator.
Yeah, right. I'm like, okay, I'll just schedule my procrastination this time. But I have to report that it worked out really well. And it really did let me off the hook for a couple more days while the weather was really nice. And I just totally enjoyed what I was doing, knowing I'm going to buckle down and knock this out in 2 days. And I did. So, yay! So that was just
Here's
big success.
nice weather while we've been getting hammered with storms.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say now it's all rainy, and actually when I was actually working on all those listings, it was crappy weather, so it worked out really well because
it was
then I
like-
didn't feel so bad.
Was it 2 nights
Missing
ago?
the outdoors.
2 nights ago, we had hailstorm.
Yeah.
Size of M&Ms. Peanut M&Ms. I was
Peanut
getting
M&Ms.
worried. I was like, if this thing gets bigger, it's going to break some windshields.
Yeah.
So good thing I pulled a minivan in the garage because I can only fit one in my garage because my garage needs an overhaul.
You have a pile.
Not quite. It's just clutter.
Yeah.
So that's been it. How's the weather been in El Paso, Glenn?
Pretty.
Is it toasty
hot.
already?
Yeah, getting hot already. So, and dumb wind. So wind is always a factor. But
So you get like sandstorm, mini
yes,
sandstorms.
it sucks.
I
Dirt
just
gets in
imagine like
your eye
Tasmanian
and-
devil, like dirt
Exactly.
devils.
So you gotta wear
Exactly.
some eye protective glasses all the time.
Yeah, you should be at all times. And
Mm-hmm.
people, their allergies get all wild, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's a bad time. But
Okay,
Yeah.
but congrats to Anna again for knocking out that whole non-death
Yeah.
pile.
So I evaded the infamous death pile, which is great, and now I get to enjoy sourcing again. Not add to any kind of pile.
Exactly.
Well, we are 34 weeks away from Christmas, guys.
Oh, what?
And time is flying.
How did you get from it's gonna be May to Christmas is coming?
Well, it's
What
already
the heck?
May.
Q4.
Right. We're thinking Q4. We're thinking a little ahead this year. But before Q4, there is this phenomenon that is real, could be real, or may not be real at all. That people just rave. I mean, people are already quitting eBay. Right, Glenn? We see that on YouTube thumbnails. I quit eBay. I'm giving up eBay.
Whether it's a clickbait or not, they're apparently.
Dude, I'm looking at their views. I was like, this is for a lack of better word, this is a terrible take. But I look at their views, it's getting views. I was like, okay, you're a YouTuber, you're not a seller.
Yeah, they
You
love
know,
the
like,
negativity or the scare.
You know, yeah, the scare. It's like, wait, is reselling YouTube becoming mainstream media now?
Yeah, lol. It's like the Death Eaters in Harry Potter.
I know. I
Attracted to
I
your
get sent
fear.
links. I'm like, oh, like, and most of them are like terrible. But I brought up Q4 Christmas time because, most sellers go hard in Q4. So, but before we think about that, what if summer slowdown is not a thing? Anna, what's your take on that?
Well, you guys told me last summer that the summer slowdown does not in fact exist.
Well, that was Glenn.
Glenn told us.
Glenn Sales stole
Ken
us.
is apparently softening on his stance about this. No, but I will say, obviously, we acknowledge, right? People's stores have different types of seasonality, but in my circles, the summer slowdown is like a widely recognized thing. However, there have been anomalies over the years in which the summer slowdown was non-existent or was totally different than like kind of a typical year in reselling. And I really like this idea too, Ken. Like, what if the summer slowdown was like the opposite? Like, even what if we think about it like if we lived in an alternate universe and instead of the slowdown, it was a surge, right? And
The
it's
summer
like,
surge. I
because
like
like,
that.
how would we approach our stores differently if we were expecting a surge the way we do, the way most of us do in Q4? Like, we know it's going to be go time, and there's certain ways that we like prepare for that. And
It's
even
like
just,
automatic.
think about it.
It's like
Yeah.
automatic.
But like, honestly, what if this is a year where in real life, like, there is a summer surge?
Well, let's pass the mic to Mr. Summer Surge himself, Glenn Duzzler Hacks. Tell us what has helped you kind of like transform summer as a sales party instead of a sales pity party.
Well, I think that
Snooze fest.
I mean, I know a lot of people are going to try to catch on for like trends and everything, but honestly, with listing every day and not, I guess, kind of like taking it easy with the vacations and all of that. I know you want to go and we want to
Wow.
go,
I know you want to
but
go.
like,
Was it
but when
targeted
you're
to me?
still doing it, you're still gonna see the
Oh,
same kind of results because you're putting in that work. But sometimes we do want to take that little break during the summer. I think on the whatnot side, what helped was just kind of those same buyers that are still looking forward to your shows. It's more of like a entertainment type of factor that comes into play. So if they're still working their daily, and weekly schedule, they're looking forward to you on that Tuesday night or Friday night or whatever. So that kind of still stays the same in a way. On the eBay side, I almost feel like you still have to not double up your listings you normally do, but things just can't stop. It's like a little mini vacation, I think is fine, but sometimes even putting the store on vacation mode and stuff, getting back into it can take some time. Sometimes
Yeah.
more time than you think.
Yeah.
So,
I
what
think
do you
that's
think?
interesting too because I mean I think about what my life is typically like in Q4, especially in December, and
Right.
I do take time off, and it's still
Yeah.
crazy. You know, like I have like holidays and like family stuff and traveling every single year in December for like what adds up to be a couple of weeks. You know, over November and December. So it's not like you can never take time off, but what I'm really hearing, unsurprisingly, between the lines of what you're saying is consistency, right? It's like don't let up, but you can still plan for like rest, relaxation, recreation in your life throughout that. You just can't like let the whole summer get really like loosey goosey, right? Like you still
Right,
have
right.
to be like driven and still doing the things that work.
Yeah, so I think one of the things that maybe we can, dive into is like, do we have an inventory strategy that we put in place for summer? Comparing it to Q4, we're always thinking about like any giftable items, in the sneaker world, we always like look into like brand new with box, a lot of like newer items that, instead of buying full retail, a lot of people are buying it on eBay for less than retail. That way, you get a bougier uh, gift on a budget. So I think I could go talk about the strategy that we have this year that just kind of like has maybe like happened 2 or 3 times already. Is the off-season buying. So buying out of season items. Um, During Q4, we bought a lot of summer clothing, and that's the only time you see it at that price. We're talking about 75, 80% off, sometimes 90% off, because nobody in the stores are buying, shorts, tank tops, and stuff like that. So I was just looking at the data that last month we sold 95 pairs of shorts.
Oh my gosh.
So that's April. So, we should circle back after, May and see if it starts boosting up, because I definitely notice it, but obviously we don't want to, base it on feelings. We want to base it on numbers. So I
Okay,
guess the
but
number to
speaking
beat.
of feelings, I feel like we should have the audience, if anybody has sold more than 95 pairs of shorts, message us.
Oh,
If you can beat Ken's 95 shorts,
95
you might
pairs
get
of
a prize.
I think I know who's gonna beat me. We'll
I think
see.
I do too. He's going to have all of our merch ever made before
Yeah.
long.
So that's kind of like the strategy. It's kind of hard to, I guess. I don't know. Correct me if you give me your take on this, because summer's coming up. I think we still have 2 3 months. Till 2 months till peak summer. So maybe we still have 30 days to really prep
Source
and
that
buy
stuff.
and source that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and expect it to sell within the next 90 days. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, not trying to really, you know, have inventory that you're not gonna sell quicker, because I'm in a mode right now where I feel like I want items to sell within, like, within 3 to 6 months. So that's kind of like my goal right now. So anybody who wants to go about your inventory strategy for getting to Q4? I mean Q summer.
Q summer.
Q summer. Summer surge. Well, I have a question. So, about what you just said, like you're expecting things, wanting for them to sell within 90 days, but is there like some kind of a caveat there of like for example, recently, it's already maybe too warm to think, oh, if I buy a bunch of outerwear right now, right, it's gonna sell. But if I found, which I did, a $900 Patagonia coat that we talked about last episode for $70, of course I'm gonna buy that, and I'm happy to wait until winter for that to sell because it's worth so much. So 100%. How, like, what's the relationship there?
I think that goes to the off-season buying.
Yeah.
I think it will always have the most advantage ROI when you're sourcing off-season.
On the way off-season, but to have immediate sales, you have to like balance.
Correct. Because
right?
again, you know what's gonna hurt is your capitalization, your cash flow, because also too you're thinking outerwear or Q4 stuff are more expensive. If you think about it, right? Like you're thinking jackets, boots, coat, sweater compared to t-shirts. It's kind of weird because we're shipping way more packages but not making as much sales. Because, there's $30 shorts, $25 t-shirts. I'm like, oh, that's kind of, like,
you're churning more.
Hurts, right? That kind of like hurts. But in a way, that's the only way you could fight the slowdown is to surge more in quantity to offset the lowering of ASP. So,
and maybe for some people, that means running a bigger sale or promoting more, where it's like you're moving more, but you're making a little bit less. But overall, the volume of what you're selling is kind of making up for that. Yeah.
Because you have to, because I think this would be like, if it didn't sell through Q4 and it passed Q1, we're in Q2 already, and if it's not a summer item, you should be starting to think like, okay, like this is about to be 3 quarters in my store.
How do I offload this?
Yeah, you have to find a creative way to offload it. So that's kind of like the strategy that I'm looking at. What about you, Glenn?
Well, to battle summer slowdown, I'm just gonna be buying like mini Trader Joe's totes and these like Labubu dolls. I mean, those are the only
bro.
I mean, if I want them to sell fast, then I'm just gonna be getting that.
Labubu. I don't even know how to say it, but isn't he like a self-made billionaire already or something like that?
Yeah, with these figure dolls, they're out of control right now. And are they the new Beanie Babies? I don't know.
I don't know anything about this. I'm about to Google it. I'm about to Google it.
Yeah.
How do you spell it?
Labubu.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like Funko Pops, but surprise Funko Pop, right? It's like the LOL dolls again all over. But they're pretty like affordable in a way, right?
Yeah, a lot of people are flipping them. Yeah, little monsters.
Yeah. They're like the better version of Teletubbies.
Oh my gosh, Teletubbies are absolutely haunted.
No, yeah, because they got like different energy, right? They have like love. They have those kind of things.
These are like Care Bears.
They are Care Bears. Yeah.
But it's kind of like, it reminds me a little bit of Where the Wild Things Are.
Yeah, kind of the same look to it. Man, but everything on their site on Pop Mart is like
sold out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like people lining up. And correct me if I'm wrong, are they all, what do you call that? Surprise? Right?
Think so. No, I think there's some pricey ones on here that I'm seeing on their own. But some are like 280, 170, like bigger figures, and they're gone. Like they're all sold out. Like
you in this economy, right? Like if no. Well, the priorities messed up.
Listen,
that's all I'm saying.
I live with an action figure collector to whom I am married, and so I kind of understand.
Well, don't tell him about
as a bystander. No, I will not.
Yeah,
he doesn't need to start another collection. It's fine.
I know. To your point, Glenn, that could be a thing.
Well, it's a trendy. The Trader Joe's thing is trendy too. I
Yeah.
mean, those things are just selling like crazy.
It's diversifying. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there are some sellers that literally drop everything they were doing.
Yeah.
If it was, somewhat consistent, but nothing really over the top, and they just go and figure out how can I get more of these trendy items, whether I get a handful or whether I get 100 of them somehow. They're trying to figure that out. I mean, which is smart too if you can do it. But I think that if you're one of those sellers that you're plugging away with your game plan, you're probably not going to,
Yeah.
I don't know, divert into something like that. You're gonna stay true to your business.
To your point on the Trader Joe's mini tote bag, all right? I ran the data. 9,800 listings on just Trader Joe's mini tote. Just the mini tote. Right? And
He's checking to see how many sold.
yeah. 7,400 results.
Oh man.
What's the highest?
Well, like I think they're like $5 or something, but like people are selling for 35.
Well, I see some here like 4-packs for like 40.
Yeah, so
they're probably going down because there's a lot of sellers,
Yeah, or they have to be that cheap, right? Or holy moly, somebody sold 4 for $250, 4 for $200.
Wow.
Just the same pastel mini canvas bag.
Yeah, they're limited.
Oh wow.
They're exclusive.
Guys, there are wants and then there are needs, okay?
Yeah.
And there's Trader Joe's mini tote bag.
Yeah, then there's
And then
And
there's
the
this
boo-boo.
whole other category.
And the boo boo.
Yeah.
You know what? They need
They
the
would
mini.
fit in the tote bag.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They need the mini tote bag for their Labubu dolls.
So Glenn's gonna do the winning combo of
the
those
winning
things.
combo.
With a truckload of iPads coming for
Well,
Q4.
yeah, the truckload of
Oh,
iPads
yeah.
definitely
It'll be
helps.
for Q4.
I mean, it is interesting though. I feel like if you do tend to experience a slowdown in the summer, but you are being consistent. I mean, I think for a lot of people, it's a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like they expect it to be slow, and so inadvertently, like their attitude and their behaviors, everything loosens up, and then it is slower. But it's like, how much of that is because of how you have changed your approach, expecting it to be slow? So anyway, if you need to hear that, if that's you, then like take the challenge that Glenn is saying. Just be consistent. Just actually stick to kind of your typical approach and your typical effort and energy, and see if how much that changes it.
Yeah.
But even if it is a little bit slower, maybe you do that and it still seems slow to you. Like maybe it is a good time to do some kind of a reasonable experiment, but not at the cost of your consistency.
Well, to that point, I want to bring up this point that I kind of wrote down that on summer slowdown or surge, you gotta have a shift in mindset, right? Like we mentioned, everybody talks about the summer slowdown, and when you say it, right, you start believing it. And
Yeah, and you believe it, so you act like it.
yeah, and I've always said it before that Glenn mentioned it already there that there's vacations coming up, and it's usually during summer. I don't want to go to vacation in summer because it's the busiest time of the year. It's the hottest time of the year.
Yeah.
That's not a good idea. So that's a pro tip right there. Go on the non-peak. You might actually even get a sale.
You might, but a lot of people have to revolve around school schedules and stuff like that, and it's like,
yeah,
school.
but
I know,
there's
school ruins everything.
That's why.
Just kidding. Stay in
I
school.
remember. I remember in the university that we were allowed to, I think 30% was your max cutoff of. So if you had 10 classes, you can skip 3. Right, and professor get mad. It's like, Mr. Gaetano, you're on your second absentee day or something like that, and 3 lates is equals to 1 absent. This was the Jesuit university I went. They checked. I mean, some professors didn't, but the people that checked. So I would always do 2 absents and 2 lates. Like 1 late till like you get 3, and then they drop you on that class, and they always say, why do you always push the limit? I said, it was made for a reason, so why not use it?
Yeah.
So that's for me.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's like
So
taking
for
all your
people that
tax
are worried
breaks,
about
you're
like
like,
skipping
well,
classes,
I'm
you
gonna
can
do what I
skip
can.
class. Skip class, that's fine. Just tell them there was a snow. You know, there's snow day. Or have you seen those trends where
there was snow.
have you seen that
summer.
trend like texting your boyfriend to pretend that you fainted on a Ring camera?
Oh,
Have you seen
I
that?
did see that. Yeah.
So Anna, picture John walking out the door and say like, "Hey Anna, start falling down. Oh, start falling down because I need to call off work and I need to show this to my boss." And people would read it and just start like, ooh. Yeah.
Like that.
So yeah, there are ways.
That's
there are
funny.
ways. You don't have to follow the.
There are
mainstream.
ways. Lying is clearly one of them. So there's that.
No, it's acting. It's acting. It's acting.
It's acting.
It's acting.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not real life. It's
King of
acting.
the reframe.
But that's
Alright,
why
so-
summer slowdown really happens to begin with, because people do go on the vacations during that time. So
Yeah.
they're spending money on their trips, and everything is going
Yeah.
up. Especially everybody wants to go to Disney, so everything like that is
Not
costing.
everybody.
True. Not everybody, but the ones that do, they know that
Yeah.
they got to
Lots and
put
lots.
plenty of money aside to make these
For
trips. So
Yeah, it's like $6,000 at least. Just
yeah.
to get
So when they come
passes.
back, then
They're
they got to
broke.
kind of rebuild.
Yeah, so
Then
it'll
it's
take
time
them
for
like
Q4. So
yeah.
Yeah,
that
by the
is
time you're
true.
back in the swing, it's like now
That's
you are
true.
prepping for Q4.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
So will it be a real statement that the people that have slowdowns are the people that have vacations? Mentally or physically?
yeah, I get mentally and
Right?
physically a little bit of both.
Yeah. You have to. Yeah.
Yeah. You have
'Cause
to
if you're-
treat it like an all year grind.
If you're locked in like Glenn and consistent like Glenn, summer slowdown. What's that? Like, it only slows down when he's sleeping.
I haven't been on an actual vacation in like 5 years. So, but I have moved multiple times in the
Yeah,
last
that was vacation.
2 to 3
That's
years.
vacation.
It probably took up the same or more bandwidth
Yeah,
as moving,
more
or as
100%
vacation.
more.
But you know what though, this kind of flows into my inventory strategy, which is a little different, which is that a lot of people are moving this time of year. There's moving sales. A lot of people are doing the estate auction for their parents who are downsizing,
Yeah.
or a lot of people are doing yard sales and spring cleaning. Like, so for me, this totally is prime time to be hitting up like yard sales and auctions, especially. And probably there's trickle into the thrift stores for that too.
Yeah.
But, you know, usually yard sales are cheaper than the thrift store, so you might as well go catch all the stuff in the wild where you know, the attitude of the person there is like, I'm not bringing this thing back into my house.
yeah.
It's one day only. Like, take it or it's going away.
Yeah.
So that's a great position to be in, to bargain and to get an even better
Yeah,
price on
and
things.
your money goes way further, right?
Yeah, and honestly, there's so much overlooked value in things that people are just sick of seeing around their house and they just want to get rid of it. They don't really care what it's worth. They're not going to spend the effort to like get the most they can out of it. So those are like really good sourcing situations. And so for me, like, but the only like downside of that, in my opinion, is that you have to spend a lot more time, right? Because there's
Yeah.
way fewer things at a yard sale than there are in a thrift store
Yeah.
or even in a retail store. So, but if you can still be strategic and take advantage of things, like, for example, this weekend in my town is the citywide yard sale. And on on Friday, there are like 90 sales in the town.
Man, you should have told
90.
me. I would have went there.
And that's people who are like registered to do it. I'm sure other people are going to throw their stuff out on the front porch or whatever too.
I would have went there for the donuts.
I mean, you can still come. It hasn't happened yet.
Um,
But that is
Glenn-
like something to take advantage of for sure.
Yeah.
Glenn, would you still go to garage sales?
I mean, they're definitely fun. I mean, it's a fun thing to do. Maybe when I'm ready to retire on eBay, and I can just
Wow.
You're going to like full circle back to yard
Wow.
selling.
yeah, I could just do like a little hobby and kind of like,
Could you?
I don't know.
Could you
Yeah.
just do a hobby?
Yeah.
I
My
don't know.
my
I don't
hobby's
know if
like
you could.
every day, 5 hours a day.
His guy's really committed to this
You're like,
hobby.
really?
Yeah.
Why is this
List
$1
10
million hobby?
Yeah. List 10 listings a day, you know.
Yeah, okay, fine. Maybe you'll be a little
You're gonna do
tough.
the exact same thing and just call it a hobby.
Yeah, my new business venture is a hobby.
I do think when you need a new challenge, right? Like maybe you go out back into the wild where it's not as predictable and consistent.
Yeah. That'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I might do that when I'm bored. Not
When I'm
retiring.
bored.
Because I have mentioned it though multiple times. I'll retire at 45.
How old are you again?
35.
Oh, okay. Another 10 years? It's gonna go by quick.
I know.
Honestly,
That's why
it
I
doesn't
want it
go
quick.
by
If I'm only doing that just because of the house payment.
Oh, okay, got it. Makes sense. Sense.
Yeah. And by then I'd be sick of my house. It's either I'm gonna just rent it out and buy an island in the Philippines or move into an RV or something.
Those are like opposites, but
Exactly.
you have
it's
10
like
years to figure out which
I'll be
one.
really Americanized and get an
Or an
RV.
entire island.
Yeah, I'll get
Or
me
you could have an RV on an island.
Ooh.
And then you could travel around the island. I think that's the play. That's the play.
No. You do know I'm from the Philippines. There's 7,100 islands,
I know.
and there's no way of like taking RVs to places like
Helicopter,
that.
I mean, ferry.
Yeah, the ferries are so slow. Like a 2-hour boat ride.
But you'd only have to take it there once, because then you live in it after you get there.
It's so small. The island's so small. You'd be done in like it could literally circle around in an hour.
Wow.
Some islands don't even have roads for RV. Oh, a yacht. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Okay, that I can agree on. We do need.
So, well, that was a weird tangent there. Sorry.
I know. It's because we went.
Welcome
all
to the
sorts of
Seller Club
things.
podcast.
Yeah, went all sorts of things. But
Yeah,
I can
well,
say for, I guess one last thing before we leave, when it comes to like the summer things, and I mean, I think running promotions wild though on the platform. I don't think you need to be like, I guess everything needs to be dirt cheap either.
Yeah.
Because I think you still have to hold on to the items that you know are worth it. And like Ken said too, so with Q4 right after that, you don't want to like, I don't know, dump
Sell out
sales
early.
just to
Yeah.
just to kind of keep sales coming in.
Yeah, like
because,
4 more months you're there at the
Yeah.
best selling time of the year.
Well, and what do you think about the fact that there are a lot of sellers who are kind of at least mentally, maybe behaviorally checking out during the summer? It's like that
It's your time to
might
shine.
be an advantage for you, right? Like maybe people will see and buy your stuff because other people aren't listing as much and aren't being as consistent. And
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe that's the way that you can keep your edge and not feel like you just have to like sell everything off.
Yeah, I think sometimes like desperation comes into play when you're like, man, sales have been slow. Like, let me run this an extra whatever percentage off, or you start taking like, lower offers that you normally wouldn't take.
Yeah.
Because you want just like the sales to keep trickling in, and you do have to stay patient, knowing that the best time of the season is coming right after that. So I would just keep plugging away like you normally would, and just getting ready for that. So
speaking of plugs, I have a plug for something directly related to this topic. So let me just share that with you guys. On May 7th, there is going to be eBay's Summer Seller Check-In virtual event.
I thought you were going to say summer seller slowdown.
No, it's the opposite of that. Actually,
Surge.
This
It's
is
summer.
Yeah, if you want to have the summer surge that we've been talking about, like this is actually a great event to attend because they are intentionally, sharing a bunch of information and content that's about selling more, faster, better sales velocity, helping you utilize social media for your business, keeping your listings fresh for the summer. Like they're thinking summer too. In the way that they've curated what they're talking about in this event. So anyway, always tons of networking opportunities at the check-ins. And I heard that we are going to be getting some hot off the press information and insights from the shipping team. I love the shipping team. They're awesome. So I'm really excited. I have no idea what those things are that they're going to talk about, but I'm really looking forward to that part. So anyway, if you are not registered yet, we have a link to register for it. It is May 7th, 12 p.m. Pacific time, right?
Yep,
3 p.m.
12 p.m.
Eastern.
Yep.
But it is going to be like in our link tree. It's going to be in our show notes. And I don't know how many people who listen to this podcast have been to these kind of virtual events before, but it's hosted on this virtual platform called Ring Central. So that's what the registration is about. It's getting you registered to be able to enter the platform and attend the event. And even if you can't be there, like those times don't work out for you or whatever, you can't be there in
Still
real
register.
time. Yeah, still register because there is so much good content and they will send it out to you afterwards so you can replay it on demand whenever you do have time. And we know you guys listen to podcasts while you work all the time, so you can hear directly from people from eBay. Some of our faves, friends of the show, seller advocates are going to be there.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, change it to your listing time. May 7th, 12 p.m.
Yeah.
Pacific. Start listing. Start doing all the photos right before it. And as soon as it starts, start listing. You'll hear it in the background, and you'll be on your computer anyway. So
Yeah. But, you know, like I said, even if you can't make it that day for whatever reason, still register because then you can still have access to all the content afterwards and play it whenever you have time.
Yep.
So that is my plug. But
Yep.
it's going to be great. I'll be there for sure. I can't wait to hear what's going to be shared because there's always something pushing the ball forward. And I'm really excited about this summer. I feel really motivated and inspired in my business right now. So I'm not like sweating a summer slowdown per se, but I still think whatever we can do to kind of stay up to date on things and just keep getting better quarter over quarter, year over year, like this is a big part of what's helped me continue to evolve as a seller. So I just wanted to invite you if you haven't registered yet.
Well, there you have it. Make sure you follow eBay for Sellers on Instagram. Huge shout out to eBay for being a sponsor of this podcast, and also Seller Ledger. Make your bookkeeping easy.
So easy.
Make sure you follow them at Seller Ledger on Instagram as well. Try their software for free for 30 days. No credit card required. And one last question before we leave. And even in the chat, are you guys taking a vacation this summer? Glenn?
Not that I know of at the moment.
So that's a no. That's a no.
I mean, maybe work-related stuff, but as far as vacationing, like straight up chilling, probably not.
When Ken gets a yacht, will you?
Yeah, that's a different story.
Okay, yacht is the
So
yacht
he'll at
is
least
the
take
minimum.
one in 10
Yacht
years.
is the minimum. What about you, Anna?
I'm actually going to say the same answer Glenn just said. Not that I know of. However, it's a little bit more trending towards yes, taking one because, like I said, we haven't actually been on a vacation in like so many years because we've chosen to like move and uproot our life multiple times, and that is expensive and takes a lot of time. So this year our goal is to go on an actual vacation, but I don't know if it's going to happen in the summer or not. So we'll see.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be in the summer.
It's not planned yet. So if that tells you anything.
My answer was I want to go on a vacation in June. But bearing if the sales on May, it's gonna be good. If it's good, we're going. If it's not good, we're
like your
listing.
sales in your store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my stores, in my store. So that's pretty much it, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.
See you.
Bye.